Well, we've always loved art. I was a principal at Park West High School in Pomona, and it was on Second Street, and we would go to lunch every day, and there was the Dog Gallery. You all know the Dog Gallery.
Yes.
And so we'd always go and look in, and they said, well, come on in. And then they asked if I'd be on their board. And I said, sure, I'd love that. And so next thing, we had a board meeting. I said, you're right in the middle of a Chicano community, and I never see any Chicano art. And they said, well, maybe you could throw a show or do a show. So Cathy and I said, we will. And we went out, and Margaret was one of the first, Margaret Garcia.
Yes. Please stand up, Margaret.
Yeah.
Margaret is the mother with the baby in the front gallery.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
As you walked in, that beautiful lady. Anyway, so Margaret, we called Margaret, and she opened the door for us. She started introducing us to all the artists, and everybody we talked to said, yes, we'd love to do it. We'd love to do it. So it was 2003 that we did the first Returning to Aztlán show, and it was called Returning to Aztlán because Magoo had this painting that's here, and it shows these Aztec warriors, and they're driving across, and you can see the barbed wires all cut. So they're coming to Aztlán, which was the mythical land of the north, that was the 5 states that were taken from Mexico by the United States. So these Aztecs are driving, and they got their pinto beans flying, and they have a cactus and a jaguar and a leopard, and it's a beautiful piece. It's here, and that's what they're doing. They're coming back to reclaim the area that was once part of Mexico, and that's why we decided to call the first show the Return to Aztlán. And so it's been very, very successful. We ran for 17 years. And we finally stopped, and then somebody else picked it up and started doing that. So we're really happy to be here. And this lady has been with me the whole time. Tell them what you think.
Oh, yeah. Well, when Frank got the mandate to have a Chicano art show, we had to dust up our socks and go into East LA to try to make ourselves known, because who would really trust that they could trust our art with us or what we were doing. So Margaret was so helpful. She introduced us to people, gave us suggestions of who to contact. So we drove all over, going into studios, telling them what we wanted to do. And sure enough, they came. They came from Los Angeles all the way out to Pomona, which they probably thought was the last frontier of the world. So it's been such an experience. And after Frank retired from Return to Aztlán, we've had a kind of a quiet time, you know. And so this was an exciting thing for us. Valerie Martinez said, oh, you have to see Frank and Cathy's collection, because they were I guess Martin was looking to have something more culturally experiential here. So sure enough, he came over with Seth, and they came to our house, and they said, yeah, we would like to do a show. And so then Seth came and picked it. He curated everything here, and so we have a kind of a bare house right now. but we have too much, actually, so we're bringing things out from under the bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, so
we've already filled the room.
Other artists have a chance to be in the sunlight, so that's good. And we're so honored. We're so honored. We're just humbled. We had no idea it would be this wonderful. I mean, they sent out a professional photographer to take our photos. They sent out a videographer to take a film of us. Actually, one of the paintings had a little damage, so Seth came with a U-Haul, took the painting all the way to Los Angeles.
And Margaret fixed it.
Met with Margaret and Rhett, had lunch with them, left it with her. She did, oh my gosh, a wonderful job. And then he came back, picked it up, and then brought it down here. We hadn't seen it since, so we were excited to see it again. So this museum really handles their people so well.
Yeah.
I mean, we are just honored. We're just overwhelmed.
Margaret, say something. You were at the beginning.
Come up here.
That's a piece of hers as you walked
She
in.
is very
Yeah.
famous.
She was so important for.
I just want to say that I haven't been able to look at everything, but first thing is it looks elegant. And I'm very happy with where my piece is, and I really like the work and the way it's connected to other pieces. The thing about being a patron of the arts, as you both are, is that you help define Chicano art through the support of those artists. And you support the artists that bring something to the table, that share something that's really positive about our community. If that isn't done, then the only thing that people have to refer to when they say Chicano is the negativity they get from the media. So in order to mitigate the trash talking and the name calling and all that other stuff, is to be able to come in and really look at the work and understand what are the things that we value. And the art and the artists are the people that represent that. And so,
Well said, Margaret.
Speak for itself. And we always had the art dropped off at our house on a Sunday, and we had this huge barbecue with beer and wine and drinks, and we had this big copper bar outside. All the artists were working together, and it was important for me to see the young artists talking to the masters and getting tips, and the masters were looking at it and say, "Did you do that? I like how you got that line." So there was a huge collaboration, and that went on for 17 years. Really built the whole concept.
it ain't over.
Yeah.